This is the intro for the back nine of the 45th annual Wintertime Open. I have sweat on my lip. These lights are...
They're fantastic. I'm glowing right now.
You are glowing.
Welcome to the back nine. Wintertime Open 2023. Southern California A-tier, Pasadena, California.
A-tier.
Hahamonga Park, baby. Oak Grove, OG.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
All right, on to hole number 10, 291 feet. Getting out into the desert here. The play here, I think, you just take an overstable mid-range and you smash it. You smash it straight, let the disc do its job, and it should end up right next to the basket. There's really no out of bounds to speak of here unless you kick over this fence that's kind of buried off to the left-hand side. Shouldn't really come into play, though. So really just throw a nice, clean, overstable mid-range and end up right next to the basket.
Occasionally you'll see players flirt with these wires, unfortunately, but hopefully our players can navigate that.
One year, Steve Rico got stuck in the wire twice in one tournament. Just stuck in it.
Probably still won the tournament.
He might have still won the tournament.
Pinegar coming up short. Looks like he released that a little early, unfortunately. That looks better from Cale. Smooth, letting the disc do the work. A little bit long, but he should be able to navigate that well inside the circle.
Parker going a little lower than the other guys.
It's easy to push it deep on this hole, and you know that is the better mistake, but then you got those trees to contend with. Jeff
Oh, like no, he did hit the wire. He hit the wire.
Guys,
how did you know that was going to happen?
I did not know that.
That is so funny.
I may have a little bit of telepathy in me, but who knows? Let's see if you can capitalize, though.
That a baby.
Putt, Jeff. Great putt.
Run it down.
Hopefully we take some momentum into this back nine. Here's Pinegar from a similar distance.
Oh, hit the cage.
Now we'll have Parker and Cale coming, near these shrubberies. Beautiful.
Great putt, Parker.
Cale from almost the same spot, maybe a little bit closer. Much closer, excuse me. Yep.
There we go. We got ourselves a tie. 12 down, 12 down.
There's that spinner right into the heart of the basket.
Chris will walk away with a par.
Not happy.
All right, hole number 11. These are new holes to the tournament. 297 feet, par 3. We're kind of running the desert in reverse of what we used to do. Completely different than maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but this is what we're working with now. The fence line to the right is out of bounds and behind the basket, and that's pretty much it. This is a stock straight line throw. You're going to see most people throw like a mid, or you're going to see Cale throw a turnover with a mid. And he's right there. That's how it's done.
Sometimes these holes where you have legitimately nothing in the way are the most difficult because you don't have something to aim at or that you have to miss and shape your shot around, and the freedom is almost paralyzing a little bit in a very weird way.
That's funny.
People will tell you that about their 30-footers that are just in the middle of a field. Same thing. It kind of helps to frame the shot a little bit.
Right.
This is the shot that I expected to see a lot more of, aside from, out of Cale, obviously. But Chris is going to come up surprisingly short and almost out of bounds.
Okay, he's going to take his meter relief here.
He's going to be outside the circle here. Stay up.
Yes,
Beautiful.
sir.
He knew that right out of his hand. That was a beautiful putt. Yeah, Junior. Yeah, Darren.
For those of you that don't know, Darren is a local Southern California guy that likes to caddy for folks. And
Pinegar's biggest fan, guys.
Yeah. Every time he makes a putt. Yeah, Junior. I'll see if I can put some audio in there.
I'm sure he would do the same for Parker, too. He's a big SoCal guy. We see him spirited at all of our tournaments here in Southern California. Cale showing us how it's done. That beautiful putter turnover shot. And we'll have 3 birdies there, and Jeff settling for par. Going into hole 12, excuse me.
Hole number 12, 333 feet. This is a similar style of hole, except you'll see a lot more people throwing over the out of bounds to get to the basket. Par 3, again, the fence line and beyond is out of bounds. You'll see it wrapped behind the basket again, just like the last hole. Really, the only obstacle to speak of is this bush on the left-hand side here.
Looks like that fence is, what, 20, 25 feet behind it, out of bounds? But shouldn't come into play for our players?
Something like that, 25, 30, yeah.
Specs a bunch of big hyzers just like this over the beautiful Southern California mountains. Legend says it, Uncle Rico threw a disc right over the mountains back there. Parker taking a more straight approach. This looks good.
Oh, he's running it.
Ooh.
Oh, did that hit it?
I think it was flashed just in front.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
My cat's yelling at me. Charlie.
Pinegar a little higher, and this looks good too. Nicely done. Our players are showing you how it's done here.
Yeah, we refer this as a birdie alley.
Oh, stay up. That's got to stay up. And just comes inbound, and finishes just behind it. Whew.
All right, Parker.
See if you can start us off for a nice star frame here for our card. Looks to be 16 feet, roughly. Yep. Routine.
Too easy. There we go. 2 for 2. Yeah, Junior.
And Cale will finish us off here after going through his routine. Love the consistency.
There we go.
Star frame for our card. Nicely
job,
done
boys.
here in the desert.
All right, hole number 13, another new hole. This one is an island hole. You do have to contend with this mound right in your face as you're throwing. We've got 235 feet. It is a par 3. If you are not resting safely on the island, you are out of bounds, but you play it where it lies. There we go.
A lot of forehands on this hole typically.
See a lot of forehands on this hole. I like to throw a backhand with a really overstable putter. Just throw it as hard as I can, and I know it's gonna.
Ooh, Cale, flashing chains, ending up on the island about 22 feet. Well, if Parker's throwing a backhand, then likely it's more of a backhand shot.
Ooh, he gets close to going long there.
And we see Darren hanging out with Pinegar.
Oh, wow, that was pretty close too.
Nicely done. Jeff's showing us the forehand as well. This looks well thrown. Beautiful.
Beauty.
Sit.
Caught some metal there, hit the pole.
We still got a battle brewing. Cale at 14, Parker at 14, Chris at 12. Ooh, nice catch by the basket. These are not the newest Innova baskets. These are 24s, I believe, right?
They are older. They do need to be replaced. We're working on it.
Did not mean to call you out there. But
You just said our baskets are ancient.
But I did. But I did. You noticed the difference between 24s and 28s when you've been playing.
For sure.
Oh, Jeff. Almost had another star frame.
Tap it in, get out of here. There you go. All right, 15 down, 15 down, 13 down. Got ourselves a little fight here. Hole number 14, the Green Monster, 435 feet. This is a par 4. There's a fence that runs on the left side of that road over there. If you're over that or beyond that, you are out of bounds. There's a an out-of-bounds line that runs on the right-hand side of the fairway as well. If you are over that, you are out of bounds. I love this place at sunset. It's so beautiful.
It's classic. So, out of curiosity, Mike, why do you call this a par 4 when the hole that was traditionally called a par 4 on the front is now called a par 3?
It's another one of those 3.5 situations. I don't really know why we didn't call this a par 3.
Because in my mind, this is a par 3.
You think this is more of a par 3 than...
100%. Regardless of how much OB is in play.
Yeah.
I mean, we're almost incentivizing players to play similar to Cale, what Cale just did, rather than, run the 2. It looks like Parker's running it. The play is almost to, play that flex line, make sure it's got stability, is going to come back, and it's just going to hit that tree. Anywhere in that tree is going to give you, a 40 to 60 foot look, and you might even get through and, end up being parked. But you just got to commit to the shot and trust that your disc is going to fight out of it. Anywhere after it fades out, you should have a pretty clean look at securing the 3.
Look at that thing float forever.
Jeff looks like he might have got over on that a little bit, but it's fighting back.
Yeah.
That
He's
is
trusting
well
his
done.
Frisbee.
Well done.
Nice shot. I think he and Parker are going to have to deal with that big oak branch that comes right in front of the basket, but they'll have a chance to get that too.
I think in years past we saw Paul hit some nasty putts through this oak right here where he goes over the branch, just wizardry. Cale laying up for his 3 as well.
Yeah, Cale actually was joking about going for it. He was like, oh, I got a little window here. He elected not to, of course, and just lay up and walk away with an easy birdie.
That was a good bid by Jeff. That thing had a chance had it navigated that branch. Parker looks like he's got a similar look, and he did the exact same thing.
Yeah, he's laughing about it. He wanted it. At least he wanted it, right? He went for it. Got to appreciate that.
Jeff's gonna get his 3 here, as should the rest of our cars. Are all within about 8 feet here.
All right. Here we go.
Still tight at the top.
On to hole number 15. 450 feet, par 4. You're going to have an OB line running the left side of the fairway that opposes hole 18. This tree that we're running up on the right side here, you must stay left of that. If you miss, your drop zone is right there. And then you're going to see a little bit of out of bounds surrounding the bathroom up here by the basket. Basically, this is a 2-shot hole, another 3.5. This spot right here is probably best case scenario.
Yeah, there's not, like, you'll see most players either just play a left to right shaping backhand or a forehand, and it's difficult to get a roller there. The hole doesn't really shape up for something that you can get to stand up and kind of stay slightly turned over but not curling. So it really is a 2-shot hole. Cale showed us the backhand. Parker's going to take that forehand. Both look to be well in position for their birdie within 160 feet, I would say.
Chris also electing to throw the sidearm. Get a big flare. Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he's right out there in the fairway. He'll be able to see the basket from there, I believe. Jeff also throwing the sidearm. Also hanging out right there with Chris.
Cale a little further back, but he is a tactician for shots like this. So.
Oh yeah, puts himself right around 15 feet.
Jeff might have hugged that a little bit, but he sneaks through. Oh, that was not a nice rock. He's going to have, 30, 35 feet for his birdie.
Beautiful show.
Is parked.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Oh my God. Parker a little bit faster. He gets hung up in the cabbage there. He should still be able to get up and down for par. Probably.
Little high, hits the plate there. That's okay. He'll tap in.
Here's Parker from probably close to 20. A little bit obstructed, but I put money on him to make this.
Ooh.
You want some action there, Mike?
I'll take $1.
Oof.
I actually don't know if I don't remember if he makes this or not. Winner, winner. Mike owes me $1.
Here's Cale from a similar distance, a little bit closer.
Little pump fake, got the cameraman.
And he will finally take a stroke on Parker after trading blows back to back for pretty much this entire back nine thus far. So a couple birdies, couple pars here.
Yeah, we got ourselves a fight here. It's pretty awesome.
Here's Pinegar and I. We're gonna have small straight here, 15, 16, 17.
Nice.
Going into hole 16.
Hole number 16, we've got 490 feet. This is a par 4. It has grown in quite a bit more than it was in the years past. That tree we just passed is a mandatory to the right. You've got to get up and over this bush here and then immediately back down to get under the canopy that we're flying under right now. This is a tough hole. It has gotten harder and harder over the years, which I appreciate. And it's fun. It's a fun hole to watch. It's one of those ones where you're watching pros play it and you just get excited about disc golf. That is for sure.
We got an OB line on the right and kind of our patented Oak Grove infrastructure. There's going to be a lot of picnic benches, some fire pits to navigate, and most players are going to play try to do exactly what Cale just did, throwing an understable fairway driver, get it to turn over, and that understability is going to kind of allow you to play that up and over better than an overstable disc or a forehand. So perfectly thrown by Cale.
Yeah, if you have one of those flexi sidearm 350-foot shots, I don't. But if you have that, that is the preferred shot here. But if you're an older cat like myself, you're going to throw more like what Cale did.
This is a high level shot. This is not easy to do, especially making sure you get the height on it and committing to throwing that understable disc. So very well thrown by all of our first 3 competitors. Jeff trying to do the same, but his are going to leak out, and that's a common miss.
And it's not a bad place to be. It actually, even though he's got a nice open spot, as you can see here, wide open on the left-hand side. If you go too far to the right, you get way pinched off. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Gorgeous shot by Jeff there. If you go too far to the right, you get a little too pinched off. Cale's in a good spot because he has a hyzer in. If he's any farther to the right, it gets just a little dicey over there.
That beautiful pop up.
Off the picnic table.
Love the way that he controls his nose angle there to kind of allow him to commit to shots but control the speed. He's one of the best in the world at it.
Parker wants it to hurry. That's looking pretty good.
A little bit long, but he'll be well inside the circle for his birdie. And Pinegar got way up here. You just got to navigate this tree near those trash cans. Gets the disc in front of it, and that is beautiful. He's going to have another tap in, it looks like.
Get it, Parker.
He's got focus and determination. Parker's probably about, 24 feet here?
Yes.
Beautiful, committed, took his time, went through his routine, corrected there from the previous hole. Pinegar going to follow suit. And this is really where, this back half is very scoreable for our competitors. You saw a lot of people struggle on the front nine, and then some even came back and, almost blacked out the entire back nine. So, if you're missing holes that you are losing strokes to the field in this tournament. And this is also an A tier that, is a regional A tier, but, it's positioned in the schedule so that people can come out, shake the rust off before big events.
All right, we got a little bit of bonus footage here from the greatest of all time. Fight me over it.
5-time world champ, baby.
Juliana Korver. Look at how beautiful.
Beautiful.
Better than all of the men we just watched, in a better position. There's her husband, Jim Oates. I love these guys.
Cutest couple on tour, y'all.
Found herself a little pinched off there by this tree right in her face, but she's going to elect to do the hyzer right at that out of bounds line.
Love her follow through. Full commitment.
And she is parked.
Well done.
She's got a tap. Those guys are too cute. It's
So fun to see her
Yeah.
competing again.
Absolutely. On to hole number 17. This is a new hole. It is a temp hole, 260 feet. We have a par 3. Lots of canopies to contend with here. Lots of obstacles in the way. There are 2 very clear routes to get there. One is a flexing sidearm. The other one is a wider route with a backhand. But yeah, let's see what these guys can give us.
It's a new hole, huh?
New hole.
Yeah.
New hole.
Missed the island. That was always a really good hole leading into 18. Any reason why you guys elected to take it out?
It wasn't our choice. It was the Pasadena didn't want us using it.
Unfortunate. Some gems from previous years that we're missing, but got to make do with what we got and keep it going. This is a tradition that cannot stop. Big shout out to Steve, Rico, and Legacy for keeping it going even during the pandemic and making sure that we can continue to say this is the 45th, 46th, 47th Wintertime Open. Wouldn't have disc golf without it. OG, baby.
Jeff trying to take the Sky Heiser sidearm. Gets a little hung up, but he's going to have an opportunity. Here we go. Take a 3 out of that.
Pinegar from circle 2. He's been deadly. Let's see if he knows it out of the hand like in previous holes. He's kind of just followed through right into it a couple times. Hesitation. He knew it was close and had a chance, but just a little bit left.
Oh, front rim, little bit of chains. See if Cale can cash in here.
Take another stroke on Parker and Chris. Cash.
There we go. While these guys are tapping out, Mike, I want to say thank you for coming and doing this commentary with me. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day and coming in and doing this with me, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, you're very welcome. It's been a lot of fun, watching this killer card and, one of my favorite tournaments of the year.
You guys saying thank yous and their good rounds. Some taters. Tater. Such a fun card to watch, man. I like these guys. They're all really positive. All right, moving on to hole number 18. We have 589 feet, par 4, legendary finish here at Oak Grove Course. You're going to have the parking lot to the right-hand side that's out of bounds. You're going to have a mandatory tree that we're going to come up on now on the left-hand side. You must stay right of that. And then you're going to have the street past this point is going to be out of bounds. And now you're going to have an out-of-bounds line that runs all the way up the left-hand side of this fairway here. It's not marked currently on this drone footage, but you'll see it in the footage.
Yeah, very challenging finishing hole to make. You got about 50 feet between the mandatory and that out-of-bounds road, and a lot of players are going to elect to throw something that's semi-overstable, but not so overstable that it's going to flex out before that mandatory and not long enough to end up in the road, but they're trying to land in that delicate position so that they can attack the pin on their next throw. Cale showing us, beautiful, buttery fairway driver landing just past that mandatory in that sweet spot.
Goodness, get out of here. That is exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, you can't place a disc better in the fairway than Cale just threw it. Pinegar looks like he's overturned this a little bit, and he's going to have a tough time attacking from there. We'll likely see some sort of layup from him to play for par.
It's kind of hard watching Cale throw such a buttery turnover and then not want to throw a turnover right behind him. You know what I mean? I think that's maybe the mistake that these guys made.
Yeah.
It might not be the type of shot that we haven't really seen them throw that type of shot all round, and here they are trying it on hole 18. I think Cale got in their heads a little bit.
Yeah, that, and when you step up to this hole, you're not necessarily thinking birdie, especially round 2. You're reflecting on your round. It's already gone well. You're within striking distance. You want to stay up there in the leaderboard, and you don't want to take a bogey here. And so that's why we saw more of a conservative, overturned shots from the rest of our competitors. Cale is a savvy veteran, and so navigating these holes is why he's been 10-20, 10-30, upwards of 10-40 rated in his career. And, oh no. And that was a layup from Parker and just hit those rocks and kicked him the wrong way. That was a 50-50 ball. That could have stayed in bounds, but it did not. We'll see how Pinegar reacts after that. When you see a competitor do that in front of you, it generally does influence you. Yeah, more conservative.
Threw it a little too low.
Yeah, kind of fell out of his hand a little bit. But he should be able to get up and down for his par. And here we have Cale in this perfect position. Has the gap framed up. Doesn't have to contend with that bushy tree on the left.
Oh, it's going to come out a little early.
No.
Yeah, he's out of bounds there.
Execute. He'll have probably 30, 35 feet to save his par now.
This is showing you just how far Parker's shot went out of bounds. The wood chips are actually safe.
A little reminiscent of the Adam Hammis shot to win the tournament over Paul a couple years back. He took the lower line. Parker's going with the high line here. He's going to finish, thankfully, in bounds, but that is not easy to get up and down for bogey.
Yeah, he'll have about 70 feet left on the bone, plus he's putting toward the out of bounds.
Yeah.
So, little tough shot coming up for Parker. Let's see what he does with it.
Here's Pinegar, just pitching up, gonna finish with a par, more than likely. And now here's Parker for bogey. Tough putt to run, especially for bogey. You don't want to go out of bounds here. He'll have to probably settle for his double. And this is Cale to save par. Again, this is a tough finishing hole, as you can see from our competitors. Cale, nicely done. Finishes a solid round.
Little fist pump there.
Yeah.
Celebration.
9 down, following up his 10. Likely to be still in the lead heading into our final round. Here's Parker for his double. Unfortunate finish for a very solid round.
Still ended at 15. We've got Chris Pinegar Jr. finishing with a 16 down.
Junior. Hot round from Paul Oman and Jacob Curtis. Cupcake.
All right, everybody, that is going to do it for the back 9 of the 45th Annual Wintertime Open. I have Mike Sale here.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
You are watching Pin Deep Disc Golf videos with Mike Jewell. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Stick around for the final round, and let's see who wins this thing.
Exciting conclusion. You won't want to miss it.
You won't, seriously.
It's true.
You're not going to.
No.